Okay, I think we're live. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for tuning into Planting Seeds. Today, we'll be diving into one of the first herbs on my list for us. It's going to be a really good one, and it's probably going to be the one that you guys know me for the most. If you've been in the free mentorship classes with me or the White Candle Magic classes with me, I touch on this herb a lot. But before I tell you what herb it is, I want to recommend two books to you guys. The first one is the Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs by Scott Cunningham. You'll be needing this book for your magical herbalism and just your herbalism arsenal. The second one is the complete book of correspondences. This will have a plethora of herbs for you guys to touch on. So today we'll be diving into rosemary, which is one of my favorite herbs to use for a plethora of reasons. But I wanted to tell you guys where rosemary derives from, how it's normally used, and then how we can use it within our magic. So rosemary originally derived from the Mediterranean. It's native to this country. It's usually used in a dry essence, so dry leaves. It was discovered along the coast. I believe it translates to Latin as the dew of sea. It's often been used in healing remedies to help with blood circulation, to help with wound care. I believe the Romans and the Greeks had used rosemary for a long time. Rosemary has dated back in history for hundreds of thousands of years because rosemary is quite easy to grow, and it also it can really adjust into a multiple different environments. So you can grow rosemary in Georgia, and you can grow rosemary in California, dry ass California. You can grow rosemary in Florida. Rosemary is one of those herbs that is really adaptive, and you can use rosemary in anything. You can use rosemary when you cook. You can use rosemary when you clean. It has a pungent taste to it, but it's subtle enough to not be overwhelming. It's also been used as a cleansing agent in almost most cleaning products that don't have mint in it, because rosemary has a similar menthol flavor to it, similar to mint, but it's not as pungent as mint is. You know, when you have mint tea, you can really taste the mint. Rosemary has something quite similar. Rosemary has even shown up in Egyptian tombs dating back to, I think, over 3000 BC. So rosemary has really ancient history to it. It's been used in skincare, hair care, it's used in cooking. And so it's so safe to use and so easy to work with that, of course, everyone can use it. Now, magically, rosemary has been used as a substitute for all herbs. It operates as a white candle, as we have known if you've been in free mentorship. If you haven't been in free mentorship, this may be new to you, which is fine. And that is, rosemary is the Meg the Stallion of herbs. So rosemary can work with anybody. It can work with anything. It can substitute any herb that you may be missing. So if you have a bath recipe that needs rose in it and you don't have rose, but you have rosemary, you can use rosemary as a supplement. Now, rosemary is also one of my favorite herbs to be used as a leading herb, or what my good friend, the love goddess, calls the manager of magic. So I like to use rosemary in particular because rosemary is not only the Meg the Stallion of herbs, rosemary is also governed by the root chakra. So rosemary has a really beautiful ability to not only be as dynamic as it is, be used in multiple different ways as far as skin, hair, body care, but because it's ruled by the root chakra, it's quite grounded in all the work that it does. Rosemary is, through me meditating with rosemary, through me studying rosemary, rosemary is quite a mature herb, meaning it has so much history, it has so much wisdom that it's able to operate in all scenarios with a lot of with a lot of wisdom, maturity, and understanding. So it's able to operate in our magic as a foundation to keep the magic protected, to keep the magic safe, to keep the magic full of not responsibility, but full of care. Rosemary is really a grounding herb, although it's used as a cleansing agent in a lot of ways. It can cleanse your energy magically, but internally it can cleanse your system. It's often used to help with blood circulation and strengthening your immune system. Rosemary in magic, because it has all these different properties scientifically, when used in magic, rosemary is able to ground its wearer. Also, it's ruled by the fire element, so it's able to show some heat when it needs to. Rosemary is one of my favorite herbs to be used as a leadership herb. It's quite understanding, quite responsible, and it's been around the world. It's been all around the world for thousands of years, and so it's seen everything, and it has so much wisdom to pass on to us. So I wanted to touch on the intentions, some of the intentions and the powers that rosemary has. One of them being longevity, protection, learning, knowledge, honesty, inspiration, intelligence, intuition, banishing, comforting, communication. And as you get these books, you'll start to see like, wow, one herb has a lot of properties, and this is just 25%. I don't even think 25% of what rosemary can do. So when we use rosemary within our spell work, we have this understanding that rosemary is not only a cleansing agent, rosemary is also a protecting agent. Rosemary helps us with our immune system. Rosemary helps with our blood circulation. Rosemary is governed by the root chakra, so it's grounding. So what can we use rosemary in? I would use rosemary in protection work. I would use rosemary we can use rosemary in our protection work. We can use rosemary in regards to our health work, our mental health work, our health in regards to if we're trying to become healing our body from the inside out. We can use rosemary for that. We can use rosemary to get clarity in a situation. We can use rosemary to help us make wise decisions. We can use rosemary to protect others, protect ourselves. We can use rosemary to help break any work that's being done against us or help protect us from work that's being done on us. We can use rosemary to bring longevity to our businesses, longevity to our love life. And then the list goes on and on. But just understanding that science, okay, rosemary has been used to heal for thousands of years. What else can it do? That at this time we can then sit down with rosemary and meditate with her and start to ask her those questions. You've been around the world 1,000 times. Yeah, 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 yeah. Is that is that the Michael Jackson song? Been around the world, yeah, yeah, yeah. I could be like totally wrong, but you've been around the world, yeah, 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 yeah. You've been around the world thousands of years. You've helped people heal for thousands of years. What else can you do? This book says you can do 10, 20 things, but I know you can do more. So what ways are we able to deepen this relationship? So when you have rosemary in your hand, or you're going to be using rosemary in your work, sitting down with her and saying, I appreciate you for all that you've done for me thus far in this lifetime. I appreciate the thousands of lifetimes that you have helped others heal and revealed so much wisdom along the journey. And I'm so happy that I have you in this moment here with me today. What messages do you have for me in this moment that will help me not only be on my path, but help heal any wounds that I may have in this lifetime? Divine, and listen, Or if you wanted to develop an even deeper relationship with rosemary, you can carry her around. Carry her around, spend time with her over the course of a couple weeks, and see for yourself what magic and what miracles she can bring to you as she develops a relationship with you. Um, Rosemary is one of my ultimate favorite herbs, and it's because she's just so versatile. She's just so versatile and so wise that that one herb, honestly, that one herb could do all the damage and all the healing that you need. Want some money? I'm gonna call Rosemary. I need a new man. I'm gonna call Rosemary because she can operate in so many different environments and so many different avenues, and she's easy to grow and she's easy to develop and she's easy to get, and she's one of the herbs I would say is the most subservient. Is really that rosemary is really willing to work with you at whatever level that you're at, and that's why that's top. It's my top herb. That's why so many people work with rosemary. That's why so many people can really, I mean, I think she's most popular on Insta. I don't know. If she was a girl, she would be like one of the $2 million follower type girl. Everyone likes her. Rosemary is just such an easy herb to work with. So if you want to work with rosemary, um, just go to your grocery store. I promise you she's in one of the aisles. If you want to test her out, my first recommendation is to try her in a tea. Try her in a tea. Um, Pray over her. Um, Ask her what messages that she has for you. Put her in a tea and drink it. And you'll receive some interesting messages. Okay. So if you like what you hear and you want to learn more, please go on the African School of Magic under the Garden Goddess. I'll take care of you. I have a mentorship coming called Becoming the Emperor starting December 1st. And you all will love it. You all should join. It's going to be touching on your unlocking your potential, your energetic vibration, utilizing the 7 deadly sins to your advantage. And Rosemary will be a part of this mentorship. So I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much and have a good one.